I heard that Frank Zane would take 50 to 60 of these a day when he's preparing for a contest. Hey, what up, though, guys, and welcome to another middle-aged muscle man musician, aka Donald Pump. Please don't forget to hit subscribe, and if you already subscribed, make sure you went back and hit that bell for updates. More and more stuff I'm cranking out. I just put out the video for my 4-week update in the 6-week transformation challenge. I've also got my 90-day update, taking testosterone, letting you know not only what I've experienced with it, but also some additional information as far as the 2 different types of testosterone that are out there. What we're talking about today is beef liver supplement, desiccated beef liver. The one that I'm taking is this one. If you can read that, that's a Wellness Primal grass-fed beef liver. For those of you guys that don't know, beef liver was a major staple in golden era bodybuilding. In fact, my grandfather told me about it when I was a kid. Just like a lot of guys now, I'd completely forgotten that it was a thing, popularized mainly by Vince Gironda, legendary name in bodybuilding, supplementation, nutrition. I'm not sure exactly why it lost its popularity. The only thing that I can surmise is, exogenous hormones became easier and easier to get, became more and more popular. You started getting these like pre-workouts. Just long story short, I think guys started gravitating towards things that would make them big now, make them feel an intense pump now, and some of the stuff from back in the day that was more a cumulative thing or health based or simply just more like a vitamin or mineral wasn't really on their radar as much. I don't know. I truly don't know 100% why, but I've got a lot of notes. And this is one of those where I have a lot of notes because there is a lot to cover, a lot to say, all positive, all kinds of notable things. First and foremost, I guess the first thing that kind of leaps off a page at you is, I'm not sure if you guys have, I'm sure you've heard of ATP. It's a coenzyme. It works with enzymes like ATP triphosphatase. It transfers energies to cells, basically. And obviously, energy to cells sounds fantastic, especially for someone in bodybuilding. You're going to find that particular attribute, that mechanism of action is going to be found in, never know if it's thiamine or thiamine, but anyways, there's that. There's riboflavin, niacin, B5, B6. All of these vitamins and minerals basically help to create or activate ATP. From that list of vitamins and nutrients that I gave you there a second ago, you're also going to get a lot of benefits like fat metabolism, which is a part of B5's qualities. In B9, you're going to be adding to your red blood cells, and also it helps with protein metabolism. Extremely important to us. Long story short, without trying to get into science and stuff like that, I see it visually. It's hard for me to relay a lot of this in words. But basically, you're getting a whole lot of food to energy. You are getting a lot of metabolism of protein. You're either increasing your muscle protein synthesis or streamlining it. On top of all that, you've got stuff like vitamin A, copper, and glycine. These 2 things definitely help with skin, with your skin health. You're getting K2, which obviously is bone formation and helps to balance calcium. You've got a coenzyme in there that actually helps detox from drugs and alcohol. Probably helps when this is taken in large amounts with guys that are on PEDs. I'm just going to assume that. In fact, I think I read that a few times with some of the golden era guys. CoQ10, someone like me who has natural high blood pressure and a touch of atherosclerosis definitely can benefit from CoQ10, which also helps with inflammation. You're getting a lot of iron, a lot of folate. You're helping neurological issues. The notes I've got in this are extensive. And like I said in the beginning, I have this many notes because there's so many benefits. It's hard to remember all of them. I can literally come on here and say just about everything that you want to benefit your body with is in these supplements. But I'm getting more to what it's done for me in terms of bodybuilding and exercise. One of the main things that has been scientifically proven with beef liver supplements is endurance and reduced fatigue. There's the old study with the swimming lab rats and stuff like that, but there have been some human studies that showed the same thing. There's been a lot of anecdotal evidence on top of all of that. There's been clinical trials that have shown rosacea improving. One thing I'll say is that eating large amounts of liver is cheaper and actually better as far as getting these nutrients. But I'm somebody who doesn't care for it much. I don't have time to cook it all the time. I don't want to eat it all the time, even if I do eat it. So there's that. So definitely a supplement. I'll tell you who it probably benefits the most is people like me, and I know that some of you guys are like me where, yeah, you're trying to have a low-calorie but high-protein diet with some treats in it, taking up some of your calories, meaning some candy, whatever the case may be. But I have to eat gluten-free. I have to have very little lactose. So I miss out on a lot of stuff that is particularly in things that contain gluten, particularly in bread and all of that. This is a great source of micronutrients for me, and it will be for you too. Another thing that can help with is it will counteract if you have really powerful pre-workout jitters. You know, if you're one of the people who has that really intense response to those over-the-counter stimulants, this can help with that. Not that I'm advocating for you to take enough to make you all jittery and stuff like that, but some people just have different reactions to things, and it's not dangerous. I will tell you this, as far as for the bodybuilding part of this, I don't know if it'll last, but since beginning to take this, I've had a lot of vascularity, ridiculous separation, you know, prior to going to the gym, and glance in the mirror and see my tricep, then there's just all this striation, all this additional, you know, it's just the look. It's the look that you usually have to kind of dehydrate yourself for with a pump. I remember that morning I woke up, it was a few days into taking this stuff, and I told my fiance about that, but I was saying it like I'm very dehydrated, clearly. And she was like, wow, I see all that. That's even more, I don't remember the word she used, maybe weird, because she's almost like weirded out by a lot of separation and striations and stuff like that. And I get it, it looks kind of weird on some body parts at times. But anyway, so I drank a ton of water, you know, I relaxed, I didn't go out in the heat, I got fully hydrated, and it was like, it didn't matter. My body just looked way better than it did a few days before I started taking this stuff. I was already getting more muscle density that I attributed quite a bit to the testosterone, but this was a different level of it where it's like, yeah, the density's there, but damn, the separation, like I said, the vascularity, the striations, just everything just looked better. Even when I was in the gym, I went into the gym, you know, hours after that, got a huge pump like always, but it was like the pump was equally distributed. It was great. And I will tell you, the energy boost I got from this was pretty incredible. Now, maybe it has something to do with me taking it, you know, directly right then and there with my start of the day caffeine that I usually wait an hour or so to drink, but I took it with that. I'm on some medications, but I look for any possible data that the combination of these beef liver supplements with a particular medication that I'm on, any of them actually, would cause something like that. And no, that the energy boost was immense to the point where it was almost too much. It actually made me think of the pre-workout jitter thing that I read about. I was like, really? Is that like an Adderall thing where in order to slow things down, I take in a lot of uppers or something? Uh, but yeah, the energy was great. I mean, I went in there and, you know, I went a little harder in the gym, even more than usual, just because I was trying to burn that extra energy off. But it was sustained. Like what you read in the studies and stuff like that, the energy was sustained. There was that peak to it. It was pretty crazy. I felt like I had to burn it off. But after that, it was just like, you know, I stayed up a little later that day. I was able to ease into relaxing and going to sleep that night. It was, my energy level was markedly different. And now I've been taking it all this time and it's continued. I don't always get that huge rush of energy, but I do definitely have more energy now than I did previously. I've been off Tonka Ali and all that stuff too. So like I was saying in my 4-week progress video, I have to push myself a little bit. Not anymore. Not in the last, whatever it's been, a couple of weeks. I don't know, guys. I would definitely give this a try. because I mean, there's absolutely no downside to it. There's not a downside to this. It's a natural thing. In order to treat disease, desiccated beef liver was a thing. Desiccated meat in general, actually. Do some research on Salisbury steak. It's very, very interesting. It's not the Salisbury steak that you get in that box from the freezer section, but very interesting. So, I mean, it's really concentrated nutrients. Too many positives to not give it a try. To no negatives. Let me know if you get the energy increase from it, and let me know if you get the added aesthetics from it. There aren't many things that do that for you, especially not essentially what amounts to like a multivitamin. I recommend theirs because it comes from a good source. They use a good testing agency. I'm actually taking their terkesterone as well. I mentioned it in the recent terkesterone video that I'll link to here. Make sure you check out the most recent videos too. I've got a back training video from a few weeks ago. I've got the updates on the 6-week challenge. Let me know what you think of it if you've taken it. I'm just excited to know that yet another thing from the golden era is coming back to the forefront. I like to hear that those guys are onto something, because it's kind of like one of those things where a lot of stuff of theirs gets disregarded. Oh, I've got this new science on this, this, and this. But it's like, wait a minute, they looked pretty damn good. They were pretty healthy as well, despite certain things they were doing. I heard that Frank Zane would take 50 to 60 of these a day when he's preparing for a contest. I think that that's a bit much. I don't know if anyone would recommend that. I think it's 6 that you take per day. Get 180 a month supply. I'll link to it down below. Other than that, check the other videos out, and I hope this is helpful for you guys. And on that note, I say peace.